What's up everyone, it's Steve, and welcome back to the channel. Now, if you're new to the world of software development, you've probably been told that clean, elegant code is always the goal. But here's the reality. The code that ships often isn't the best code. In this video, we're diving into the nitty-gritty, the unspoken rules of being a software engineer that nobody really prepares you for. We're talking about the things they don't teach you in school, the behind-the-scenes realities of shipping code, meeting deadlines, and navigating the tech landscape. Think of this as your crash course in Software Engineering 102, the stuff they leave out of the textbook. Over the next few minutes, we'll uncover 5 of these unspoken rules, and trust me, these insights can save you a lot of headaches down the road. Whether you're a coding newbie or a seasoned pro, there's always something new to learn. So buckle up, grab your favorite keyboard, for that satisfying mechanical click, and let's jump right in. Let's get real. In a perfect world, every line of code would be pristine, well documented, and future-proof. But the reality is, deadlines, budget constraints, and ever-changing requirements often force us to make compromises. That beautiful, elegant solution you spent weeks crafting, it might get shelved for a quicker, dirtier fix. And here's the kicker. That temporary fix often ends up living in the codebase for way longer than anyone anticipated. Why? Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? This can be a tough pill to swallow, especially for new developers who enter the field with the best intentions. You learn all these principles of clean code, solid principles, and design patterns, only to find out that sometimes just get it to work takes precedence. But here's the thing. It's important to understand the context. Sometimes, shipping a functional feature on time is more valuable to the business than achieving code nirvana. It doesn't mean you should abandon good practices altogether, but it's about finding a balance. It's about understanding the trade-offs and making informed decisions based on the situation at hand. And let's be honest, sometimes you just gotta ship the code. Now, I'm curious to hear from you. Have you ever had to maintain someone else's bad code? Drop a comment below and share your story. Okay, let's talk about documentation, or rather, the lack thereof. We all know it's important. Good documentation is like a treasure map, guiding future developers through the labyrinth of your code. But in the real world, documentation is often treated like that optional side quest you unlock after beating the main game. You're racing against the clock to ship a feature, and documenting every single function feels about as appealing as writing a novel in binary code. So, what happens? We tell ourselves, I'll get back to it later, but let's be honest, later rarely comes. The result? Countless hours wasted trying to decipher cryptic code, deciphering the thought process of your past self, or worse, someone who's long gone. It's like trying to assemble furniture from IKEA with half the instructions missing and cryptic drawings that look like they were done by a toddler. I've been there, trust me. I once spent a week trying to understand a piece of code that had 0 comments and variable names like X, Y, and temp. It was not a fun week. I felt like I was trapped in a never-ending loop of confusion and frustration. But here's the thing. Even though documentation often gets deprioritized, it's crucial to advocate for it whenever you can. Even if it's just a few clear comments explaining the logic behind a complex function, it can save someone a world of pain down the line. Now, I'm sure you've all got some documentation horror stories. Maybe you've inherited a project with 0 documentation, or perhaps you've had to deal with vague comments that made no sense. What's the worst experience you've had with poorly documented code? Was it a nightmare to debug? Or did it lead to a major setback in your project? Share your pain in the comments below. Let's commiserate and maybe even learn from each other's experiences. Technical debt, the silent killer of codebases. Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Technical debt. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot, but do we really understand its implications? It's the coding equivalent of borrowing money at a ridiculously high interest rate. You might think you're saving time now, but the cost will catch up with you. You might get that quick win in the short term, but eventually that debt comes due, and it can be crippling. The initial success can be deceiving. Every shortcut you take, every hacky workaround you implement, adds to this ever-growing mountain of technical debt. It's like piling up IOUs that you'll have to pay back with interest. And the worst part is, it often gets swept under the rug, hidden away in the darkest corners of the codebase, out of sight, out of mind, right? But just like financial debt, Technical debt accrues interest. The longer it sits there, the more it compounds, making future development a nightmare. It slows down development, makes it harder to add new features, and increases the likelihood of bugs. It's like trying to run a marathon with weights tied to your ankles. And the longer you ignore it, the bigger the problem becomes. It's not going to go away on its own. I've seen projects grind to a halt because the codebase had become so convoluted and fragile that even the smallest change could bring the whole system crashing down. It's a precarious situation. It's like trying to build a house on a foundation of sand. Eventually, it's going to crumble. No matter how beautiful the house is, it won't stand without a solid foundation. So, how do we deal with this monster? It's not an easy task, but it's absolutely necessary. Well, the first step is acknowledging that it exists. Denial will only make things worse. We need to be honest with ourselves about the technical debt we're accumulating and make a conscious effort to address it. Transparency is key. This might mean dedicating some time to refactoring code, paying down that debt before it becomes unmanageable. It's like cleaning up a messy room. It's tedious but necessary. It might not be the most glamorous work, but it's essential for the long-term health of your project. Think of it as an investment in your project's future. Now, I know you've all got some technical debt horror stories. We've all been there, and it's not pretty. What's the worst piece of technical debt you've had to deal with? Was it a quick fix that spiraled out of control, or a legacy system that no one dared to touch? Share your story below, and let's commiserate. Let's learn from each other's experiences, and find better ways to manage our code bases. Engineers, the Swiss Army knives of the tech world. Here's a secret they don't tell you in those glossy tech company recruitment videos. Sometimes, being a software engineer means wearing many hats. And I'm not just talking about those free company swag hats you collect at conferences. Especially in smaller companies and startups, you might find yourself stepping outside your comfort zone and tackling tasks that fall outside the traditional scope of software development. Need to write some copy for the website? Congrats, you're now a copywriter. Need to troubleshoot a server issue? Time to channel your inner sysadmin. I remember when I first started out, I was the only developer at a small startup. I was coding, designing the database, deploying to servers, writing documentation, and even answering customer support emails, all in a day's work. It was definitely a crash course in wearing multiple hats, but it taught me valuable skills that I still use today. I learned to be resourceful, to adapt to different situations, and to think on my feet. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can be an incredible learning experience and give you a broader perspective on how different aspects of a business work. But it's also important to set boundaries and make sure you're not being spread too thin. So, have you ever had to play a non-technical role in your engineering job? Share your experiences in the comments below. Learning never stops, even after 20 years. The tech industry is always changing. Master one thing and a new one appears. It's a cycle of constant innovation. Just when you think you've got it, the industry shifts. Being a software engineer means lifelong learning. Knowledge is power. What you know today might be outdated tomorrow. Embrace the change. Flexibility and curiosity are key. Adapt and learn new things. Dive into new languages, frameworks, and industry trends. There's always something new to discover in tech. The more you learn, the more valuable you become. I've been coding for over 20 years, and I'm still learning. This field never gets boring. There's always a new challenge. If you're overwhelmed, remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Take it step by step. Build a strong foundation. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the last new thing you learned? Share your learning journey in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to keep growing and evolving. So, there you have it. 5 unspoken rules of software engineering that they don't always teach you in school. From navigating the murky waters of technical debt to embracing the ever-changing tech landscape, these insights will hopefully give you a better understanding what it's really like to work in this field. Remember, software engineering is more than just writing code. It's about problem solving, adapting to change, and constantly learning and growing. So, embrace the challenges, celebrate the wins, and never stop exploring the exciting world of technology. If you found these insights useful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and share your own unspoken rules in the comments below. Who knows? Your comment might inspire our next video.